Hey everybody out there, welcome to Deez Sports Nutz. We're back and better than ever. I'm here with my man, the collector. I'm the coach. Our inferior engineer, Josh, is over there. Definitely teaching some cleanliness lessons, and he's sharp as a tack, and we're just happy to be around him.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. There's always something with Miller.
He looks like Paulie Gautieri with the gray on his side, doesn't he? Paulie Walnuts from Sopranos. It's pretty impressive. Either that or I can't make you Reed Richards because, maybe he's got more in common with Reed Richards than Paulie.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but it looks nice. Hey, out there, we are starting to GoFundMe. Check the page for Josh's haircut. Definitely. It started with our guy here. Worst insult anybody could ever give you is they said your hair looked like Josh Miller's.
Yes, I'm in need of a haircut as well.
Sorry, Josh.
Tag team.
Are you mic'd? Are you mic'd? Are you mic'd up?
No, but they can hear me on that one.
Oh, okay. But not as well as they can hear us.
Right.
That's good news.
Yes.
What a powerful position for us to be in.
Yes.
But you were back after a little bit of a break. Things have been crazy. Want to update you here on Big Dog Built. We have the Safe Haven going on Saturday nights. Really proud of that. We're getting about 20 kids. Come on down. Check it out. We have the Business Commons up here. We're working on entrepreneurship stuff. We have our recording studio. We have our podcast studio. We have boxing going on. We have people playing basketball. We have people being trained with POI, Prisoners of Iron, Greg Nash. We have a meal every night. Lots of good things going on down here at Big Dog Built. The construction is rolling along. Boxing gym is up and insulated. New bathrooms are in, so we're really excited about that. And hey, let's talk a little bit about Imagine Wrestling.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
Whew.
Maybe someday we could be the state's best podcast.
Maybe. Maybe.
Especially if we're doing the rankings.
Right.
That would be awesome. We could be Pennsylvania's #1 podcast.
According to us.
According to us.
That's how you do it.
As ranked, yeah. Because certain podcasts rank themselves. Did you know that? They say their PA's best without any.
I was not aware of the rankings.
Yeah, so, I mean, or is anybody else, you know?
Yeah, because nobody's seen it.
Yes. I am the world's best tap dancer. Not just the States, I'm the world's best tap dancer because I said so. But going back to our Imagine Wrestling show, fantastic down here. I love seeing Big Dog Built transformed. I know you loved it. What do you think, my man?
Yeah, it was a great show. Local wrestler Bill Collier wrestles with Imagine Wrestling. He had a huge match with Charlie Haas, who as a tag team partner. He was a former WWF star, WWE star. And then there was a crazy turn at the end where Charlie Haas
the heel turn.
He kicked him and got on the mic, and he had the crowd ripping and roaring, and our guy Roger he went right after him, and he stood up and his beard was shaking. And the main thing I took away from it though was the Safe Haven kids.
Yes.
They got to come watch wrestling. They some of them they probably would never thought they liked it, but they were so into it. Some of them were on their phones. Like it was a great night.
And rest in peace to our guy Razor Ramon, Mr. Hall.
Yeah.
You would say bad times don't last, bad guys do.
Yes.
There were people cheering for the bad guy.
Yeah.
Even though Bill was the local guy, there was people cheering. People loved the bad guy. My man Hacksaw America.
Yeah.
Roger Burkheimer was out there going crazy. We had a lot of the Safe Haven kids were there. We had kids here from the Wimbers football team going crazy, and a lot of people from the town of Johnstown. It's growing. May 28th, we'll be back here looking for a big headliner. Really excited about that, becoming the home of wrestling down here along with everything else. Really excited for our Castle Nights. The champ, Trayshawn Wiggins, will be here next Sunday he'll be signing autographs next Sunday at Tulloon's Living the Dream, which is the 27th, correct?
Awesome.
At 1 o'clock. 27th there, Miller?
Yes, sir.
He is the best engineer money can buy.
He signed to Don King.
Yeah, Don King Productions. Sure. He'll be at the chili cook-off. Come up there. You pay $10 to get in. You get a sample of all the chilies. Even the rigger. And another thing, you can appoint yourself chili champion.
Yep.
We have definitely intervened. We have intervened in the chili cook-off now. It is a clean system. We've brought in people, but the first year you can just name yourself champion. You know what I mean?
It's me.
Why don't we just get belts made for ourselves? That would be awesome. But anyways, the chili cook-off benefiting the Castle Knights, best boxing organization in the state, as ranked by other people in the state, which is really neat. But they're fantastic. Great culture here. Whether you're a beginning boxer or a pro, everyone works together. Great leadership by Brock Hall, Mr. Green, and Coach Jim. And look for some other things in the future, maybe a preview of Come Attractions, maybe, we're going to have a boxing team affiliated with a college at some point.
Wow.
You never know.
Wow.
But really,
you guys do birthday party stuff here too?
Oh, we do, and there's a flyer coming out soon. Josh has put together his computer knowledge. He has put down the joystick for 15 to 20 minutes, and that's the gaming joystick.
Yeah,
He's put that down, and he put together an unbelievable flyer for birthdays. Yeah, we definitely host birthdays on Saturdays. Really excited about that. Come down. There's different packages available, different help available. We've got a bouncy house coming for my niece next Saturday. We'll get lots of pictures out there, and we definitely host birthday parties. So
awesome.
I guess that's the beginning of our little shameless stuff, kind of getting you updated on what we're doing. Construction's been a big part of what's going on. I've been calm, patient, cool, and collective throughout the entire process.
Yeah.
Right, Josh?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes. So it's going well. But special thanks to V&V Construction, Eric Fogley, and his consigliere, Samuel Barber, for their hard work, and the whole crew out there, Tony and the boys, and Cheech and Slim, and everybody else, man.
Bunch of nicknames. If you got a nickname, you're on the crew.
You're in the crew. So lots going on in the world of sports. I just slapped my wrist. I apologize, Josh. I'm going to get scolded. But lots going on in the world of sports. And let's go right into NFL. Let's dive right in. It's been a free agent frenzy, all kind of moving around. We know the league's focused on quarterback play. What's your feelings on this? We knew it was going to be hot and heavy, and it's really been hot and heavy.
Yeah, it turned up real quick. There were the big names everybody was watching. And what do you know? Aaron Rodgers drops the ball first. He goes back to Green Bay, signs the big boy contract that actually saved them money on the cap, which was smart. And then the whopper of a trade, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that's big. I mean, and I think before we get to Russell and those guys and we go through them, let's just talk about Tom Brady. Let's talk about the two guys who re-signed. Everyone's, I don't know, I almost said everyone thought Tom Brady was done, but I guess everyone thought it wasn't going to happen. You probably a good reason in life why you shouldn't make decisions while you're emotional.
Yeah.
And probably he's emotional after the game, tough loss, thinking things weren't looking good. I heard there's been some friction between him and BA, and but he definitely came back.
Yeah.
And so those guys first. But let's go back to what you said there. Let's go to Russell Wilson. Your feelings on that trade? Who do you think won the trade, and how do you think it plays out for both teams?
I'm a little biased. I'm glad he's out of the NFC West.
Hold up, man. Hold up. We're here for the people. We're not here for the Cardinals. All right. This is not the Arizona. This is not the number one podcast in Arizona.
Okay, I can say he's a baller.
Yeah.
He has a lot more to give, and Denver's going for it. Denver has a great defense. They made some moves outside of him, but they're going for it. I love how he makes them actually a contender in that division, and that division's tough. Look at the quarterbacks in there now: Wilson, Mahomes, Herbert, and Carr. There's going to be some balls thrown around in that division. I don't know who wins the trade. Seattle wasn't going to win anytime soon. I think they got a good haul back for them. But Denver's saying we're going for it right now. And
it's funny how. I mean, not funny. I guess it's they can start assessing the situation. These players can start seeing things coming. Did Russell have a problem there? I think Pete Carroll's a player's coach. I think he saw that things weren't looking good. Maybe he was frustrated. We're starting to get more and more frustration from these top-end guys when they don't have say on what goes on.
Right.
The cap's a tricky thing. It's outside of their purview and all of ours. And, the fan in us wants everyone to stay together forever in the old dynasty days, but it doesn't just happen. And you go back to Denver there. I mean, Elway's what's his title now? He's the president and Lynch is the GM. A lot of pressure on them to perform. Things haven't gone well there. Had to land their guy, and they did a good job landing their guy in Russell Wilson. Definitely the other pieces there. We like, from a prospects, we like Javonte Williams and Jerry Jeudy. We like them going forward. How do you think this impacts them?
Yeah, big. That was a huge question mark. Bridgewater did okay. He was a stopgap, but now you have a leader coming in there, a guy that's won. And Williams played great last year. The play action's really going to help Jeudy. I like their offense. You lose Noah Fant, who was kind of like the safety valve there, but it's going to be a different offense. But going back to with Seattle, the writing was on the wall. It amazed me how Wilson gets traded and Wagner gets cut. I just wonder if they knew. Wagner said they didn't even tell him that they were letting him go. So I don't know what's up with the culture there or where they're going in the future. But I'm happy for Russell, and I think Denver got a shot. That division is going to be fun to watch.
And sometimes you have to just commit to the total rebuild. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what it is. Maybe, the old guard, maybe Wagner was upset about Russ.
Right.
And voiced his opinion. A lot of things happen behind scenes. You don't know that. And we're going to talk about this quarterback free agency today. And I think leading up to the draft, we'll have another one. Then after the draft, when everything settles, boy, it'll be a whole different thing. We don't know who, you're talking about tight tight end, but could they draft a tight end?
Right.
Everyone will be different teams after the draft, and after this free agent stuff all calms down and all the trades are over. Really, today was the first day of league business. Was it today or yesterday was the first day of league business?
No, yeah, today. Actually,
today, yeah. So these things were all talked about. Now they're becoming official. So we'll see. Everything could be different, but yeah, definitely good insight on those guys there. Let's go to our Pittsburgh Steelers. My Pittsburgh Steelers. I almost brought you in. But again, we're going to talk with our minds, not with our hearts.
Yes.
Picked up Mitchell Trubisky. Again, we were rumored with probably attached to almost every quarterback alive, including Ken Stabler and Bradshaw coming back. I've seen a million reports, and there's so many beat reporters now and so many podcasts and so many different things going on that these guys seem official. And we were tagged to Carson Wentz, Jimmy G, most likely to land in Pittsburgh, Jameis Winston, on and on down the line, but we land Mitchell Trubisky. The Steelers are not emotional. They don't jump. They're usually pretty calm, cool, and collected. I really like this signing. I like what he does. He's very mobile. I like the way he throws. I don't think he's been given a great chance and played with great people. I think this works out really well for the Steelers. I think they're starting to build a line with some of the line signings. They built depth last year. They bring Okafor back. Banner will be healthy. They signed the guy from Minnesota.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that. Kendall Green slides over to guard. A lot of good things happen in Pittsburgh. I think this works out. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I like Trubisky there. I think it's the perfect fit for right now. I thought Mariota would have did the same thing, but Mariota might command a little bit more. They got him cheap and they got him quick.
Yeah.
He was the number 2 pick overall not that long ago. So the guys that are in the front office, I'm sure they did some scouting on him and watched him. He's a good player. He got to sit behind Josh Allen last year, which was a much different scene than in Chicago, because Nagy's a mess. You brought up, you can't really judge Trubisky's time behind Nagy. So I like it. I like a lot of the moves. I like, real quick, we just seen right before we got on, I love the Miles Jack signing. It seems Pittsburgh's just smart, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's I can't hate on them for that. Like, they just make smart moves. Do they always work? No, but they just make smart moves. They don't jump at the hat at the top guy. They bring in a series of guys because there's a series of holes. They're just smart with their money.
And let's be honest, there's a reason they're successful. I know Tomlin takes a rap. He's part of that decision-making team, and there's a reason why they've won and had a winning record. Of course, we're judged by Super Bowl wins, and that's what everybody wants, and Steeler fans are rabid, and they want all their stuff. But I think they're calm, cool, and collected in regards to that. Going back to Mariota, though, I think the biggest difference between the two guys is durability. Yeah. Mariota seems to always be hurt. He's slight in frame. He's probably a little bit of a better pure runner. Yeah. I don't think he's a better thrower, but he's a better pure runner, and that would have put him in harm's way more. I don't think they want a guy that's going to run. But I did hear today, Matt, that Mitchell is very successful in offenses where there's a lot of motion. Yeah. And that's definitely Matt Canada going back to his days at Pitt. A lot of motion, a lot of pre-snap motion. That'll help him out a lot. And a lot of movement in the backfield, just being able to escape. So we get better up front. We got our guy, middle linebacker. We'll see what happens with Bush going forward. We'll see what they can do with the D-line, see what we do in the draft. The jury's still out on that. And then we move right on to our guy, Carson Wentz here. He leaves and goes to Frank Reich, who was supposed to be his home. Played okay at times. Yeah. Still made the big mistakes. Yeah. Reich gives up on him after a year, whether it was his number or he just he was. It seemed to me like he was the last guy to believe in him when nobody else was. Did they reinvent him enough that Washington wants him? I mean, talking about Ron Rivera there, pretty successful coach, usually pushes all the right buttons himself. Feelings on the Wentz move?
I don't know. I didn't see him going there. Because I know they like Heineke, a lot. And I know that he liked Kyle Allen.
Is he a 2 now?
I don't know. He's going to have to fight for the job, and maybe that's what he needs, and Rivera will get that out of him. Yeah. My question mark was Kyle Allen being there, too, because Rivera brought him from Carolina instead of Cam Newton, but then today we seen Kyle Allen went somewhere else. So there's definitely going to be competition. It should be interesting when he got to go back to Philly. Yeah. Those games. I don't know. Indianapolis, he did okay. He just, I believed in him. He has that thing. He just makes the bad mistakes over and over and over again. But I know a guy that used to make those mistakes named Matt Stafford that won.
Yeah. And Matt Stafford, tough guy, better thrower of the football, played on poorer teams. Yeah. I think was forced to force the ball. I think, using a tennis analogy, I think a lot of Carsons are unforced errors, it seems, in my opinion. And it's crazy, though. There's only 32 of these guys that get to start. Yeah. And there's so many great quarterbacks who never get a chance. Sometimes you just need a chance to play, and the rest can be history. Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hurt. What's Tom Brady's legacy? Does he ever, or does he become a career backup? I mean, you just don't know. I mean, and Carson Wentz keeps, getting these opportunities and getting these opportunities, and now he has another one in Washington. And I know it's going to hurt some of our friends. We love you, Davey, and some of the guys out there, but not a good division.
Horrible division.
Definitely went to a better division as far as being able to get some wins and losses there.
The Colts lost on that deal heavy, man. Yeah. He plays just enough that they lose their first, and then they don't get nothing back. Yeah. That sets them back, and then you got a guy like Leonard speaks out, like 5 years, 5 different quarterbacks. When you got a defensive star like him, the way Taylor plays, like they got to make a smart decision when it comes to quarterback, and soon.
And we'll be, and again, we're going to go into this whole mess that's Deshaun Watson, which includes, Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield in it. But let's talk about Baker real quick. He's been linked to the Colts. Is he a quicker version of the play action and stuff that Reich likes to do? Is he a nice fit there?
He is. I think he's a great fit there. But I don't know what it's gonna take. There's gonna be the dominoes are gonna fall. Bam, bam, bam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do the Browns move on from Baker if they don't get Deshaun Watson? Or do they kiss and make up and he goes back there? That's what I'm saying. The Colts might be left like with the slipper, like missing the slipper, because they might have to settle for a Mariota or somebody like that.
Well, and you say settle. So we look at these teams right now. We have Carolina, Cleveland, Philly, and New Orleans all together. And I guess and the Colts are in that raffle as well too. The one you don't want to be in. And this Deshaun Watson thing is strange and convoluted. Again, another one of the quarterbacks linked to the Steelers. Yeah. Probably knew they weren't going to go there. You have the legal stuff hanging out there. If he signed, I look at him going to the Saints. Here's a question I have about that. So if Kamara's in trouble too, and they both are facing suspensions, could be pretty tough on them.
Yeah.
But I wonder if Peyton, who was the longest tenured coach, I wonder if he left because he was going to have to make some tough personnel decisions. Yeah. After you've been one place for a real long time, sometimes the culture changes. Sometimes your voice gets drowned out in the room, and there was probably some tough things to do. You see, look at Pete Carroll right now. Right. He's having to do that same thing there. It's really tough. He's been there forever, and you're getting rid of fans, big fan favorites. You're getting rid of those guys, and also player favorites. But so that's really strange. But this New Orleans thing. But if he lands there, are they the best in position? Couple questions I want to ask you. Are they the best in position because they have Taysom Hill? Carolina needs to find somebody. Yeah, they really do. It looks like Cleveland has crept in, and what I heard today is Deshaun Watson was very happy with all 4 of his visits, and he turned down the Philadelphia one. So obviously, they don't believe in Hurts. How's this all play out?
I don't know. He met with Atlanta too, which is odd because they just restructured Matt Ryan's deal.
But again, though, you restructure Matt Ryan, and he's more reasonable to move.
Right.
It's because I could see him with Frank Reich.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's big. Yeah. I think the Saints are a great fit if everybody's in place. But you're right on. You got all the stuff with Michael Thomas over the past couple of years, and the Kamara trouble. The cap number was crazy there. They've readjusted some guys. Armstead's waiting. Armstead kind of put it out there that if Watson comes in, he's going to re-sign there. Because if you lose him, you lose that your big left tackle. But you got Hill under a pretty decent contract, so you don't have to do that. I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't know what the legal terms are going to be with the league because there were no charges now.
But
he's going to face something.
Ben Roethlisberger, 6 games, no charges. Zeke, no criminal charge, 6 games.
Right.
Probably going to be 6.
So it's got to be somewhere where you have a quarterback. You think, and that makes sense. Hill's already there. The offense is set up.
In Carolina at this point are kind of in a build, so they wouldn't care.
No, right.
And I feel like them being the ones left out, like you said, holding the slipper. You look at Philly. Obviously, they're not happy with Hurts and they're shopping. But these quarterbacks, they're already the highest paid guys. They're great. But boy, they're so emotional. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. So he doesn't get to make the decisions he wants. Okay, they drafted bad. They shouldn't take Jordan Love. He throws a fit that lasts for 3 years, gets his money anyways. And now he's taking so much money, he's probably hurt them long term being able to sign other people because he isn't giving some back. It's just strange. So now, Jalen Hurts, is he upset? Well, Matt Ryan, the teams, their job is for their fan base and for the success of their team is to keep looking at guys and make themselves better and keep looking at better options. And Ben Roethlisberger was no different. You get mad when people are drafting. Now you have to prepare for the future. You're there for longevity, and it's a really tough position. I just think these quarterbacks they have so much say, much control.
They do, and it's. When it comes to the quarterback money, you got to look 2 or 3 years down the line. Like Hurts, his rookie deal was going to end up coming up because he was not a first rounder, was he? I don't think. I think that he slipped.
He might have slipped, yeah.
I'm not 1,000% sure, but if he slipped, then he's even a year sooner when he's going to want money. So it makes sense that Philly's shopping and looking, because if you're going to pay somebody a lot of money, you would hope that they would be your guy.
And the doubt there too is I think there's some play doubts too.
Yes, clearly.
Again, because here's the thing about a guy like Jalen Hurts, he's gonna have to be really good because the doubters are out there.
Yeah.
And you have to answer the media every week. Philadelphia, tough media town. You have to do that. It's just gonna be really interesting. But I think that one thing, if you want to go into, I don't know if conspiracy is the word, but if you want to talk about issues and concerns, the gap between the regular player and the not just a superstar but the quarterback superstar is getting really crazy.
Yeah.
These guys want to be GMs, they want to have a say, and no one's really shaking their fist in the air. They're like, yeah, maybe we should have brought Aaron in and asked him his opinion. And it's crazy. And who's running the team?
Yeah.
It's funny. It's really funny, but what are you going to do?
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, and the Watson thing panning out is going to have a ripple.
Yeah.
And hopefully by next time we'll be able to talk about it, it's going to have a ripple effect on a lot of teams, and we'll see which way they go. And you bringing up the whole Atlanta thing makes me realize, man, there's some guys we're not even thinking about. There's some moves to be made that we're not even considering and talking about right now. And somebody, we've seen some sign and trade kind of stuff, which is rare.
Like last year, the Goff Stafford thing.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
You never know what could happen with that. And again, we talked about Kyle Allen battling out with Davis Mills. We like Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Chad Henne re-signs today with the Chiefs, and then also Bridgewater goes to Miami. Who do you think plays there? Do you think they're not sold on Tua, that's for sure.
No.
They ran on Watson
he could
early.
Move. They could move him. He could be one of those guys that come out of nowhere that gets moved.
Absolutely crazy. But stay tuned with that. We'll stay on top of it, and we'll do our best to update it. But going forward, hey, it's March Madness time.
It is.
I have to say that the luster's off the tournament. The familiarity with the players is off. It's tough for me with the portal and all the one and dones to really get close. I do miss the good old days, the Dukes of North Carolinas, the household names. I really do miss that. It's taken a little bit of the luster off for me. Still a very, very special time. Still excited to watch it. There's nothing better as far as the thrill of it, no matter who the players are. I just miss that familiarity with the players.
Yeah, it's much different now. The tradition's gone. It's mainly the coach.
Yeah.
Like you like Duke because of Coach K, who is now going to be done. It was Dean Smith. It was Jim Boeheim. I keep up a little bit here and there. I watch it through betting and stuff like that. But when tomorrow you lock back in. You just turn it on, and we're gonna see something tomorrow that's gonna be like crazy. Some team's gonna upset some team, or somebody's gonna hit a shot with no time left.
Yes.
And then that guy's name's gonna be remembered. A lot of great moments. A lot of these kids, this is gonna be their peak. Like there's been a lot of great college players that just don't make it. There's just not enough spots. They have expanded the NBA now so that more guys do get a chance with the G League. But some of these guys that are fifth-year seniors on teams like Gonzaga, this is gonna be their shining moment.
Like the song. One shining moment, which is awesome. Yeah, and you look at Gonzaga. what they built, what Fuse built there is unbelievable. Great program,
nothing.
From nothing, and they're able to keep their guys. Send a lot of guys to the pros as well too. It's going to be exciting again. You don't have that familiarity, but the tournament is still awesome. It's still awesome to watch. It's an extravaganza. Really excited about that. Favorite. Any favorite moments for you? I love the Duke teams. I love the Shane Battiers and Trajan Langdons. I really enjoyed watching those guys play. Any favorite moments jump out for you?
Well, personally, when Arizona won the championship, Simon was, and Bibby, those guys, and then of course Carmelo Anthony's run as a freshman. Really, that's why he was my favorite player. I loved watching that tournament and what he did that season, and he balled out. those the Kentucky Duke games. I can remember watching them when I was younger. Grant Hill and the Leitner pass, and you're ever reminded as they showed the highlights of the stuff,
Like he knew, like he could see the clock through the back of his head.
My favorites, though, like favorites outside of my favorite players, man, was the UNLV.
The run reps. I was just thinking that.
Larry Johnson, and then Arkansas had a good run. Scotty,
yes.
There was a dude, Scotty Barnes or Scotty something, Scotty Williams,
shooter,
Corliss Williamson. That they were good too. It was a good time. There was a lot of good teams in basketball. The Fab Five.
And I miss Pitt being relevant. It was really exciting there for a while, and we were really solid. I guess it was a great move to get rid of Jamie Dixon. He's still winning at TCU. And, we haven't been the same since at Pitt. But, really great time of year, really excited. And it just kind of springboards us. We talked about this. The tournament's going to be crazy, March Madness. We talked about the quarterback madness. Now let's talk baseball madness. We love baseball. My man's got the tomahawk chop ready to go there with his Brave stuff.
The champs.
Saw your guy Acuna taking some, after we saw him, gets hurt shortly after, saw him taking some swings. The lockout's over. Everyone came to their senses. And I remember we talked about it early on. You said, well, first of all, we know they can't afford to do it again. And I remember you saying, this is going to end real abruptly. It looks like there's no hope. Then, boom, all of a sudden they're back. Cooler heads prevailed. I think Manfred gets a lot of credit for that. He called it at the beginning. He would never let this happen, and cooler heads did prevail.
Yeah, thank God. And just before it was too late, the season was getting pushed back, and was there going to be no spring training? And don't you know, as soon as the lockout's over, frenzy, because there was a lot of big names that were still out there. What's crazy is there hasn't been a lot of big signings, but a lot of trades.
Yeah, and then, also, too, let's talk about coming out of there. The biggest change to all this, probably, outside of some of the money stuff, which we're not going to bore anybody with because we're not GMs. Yeah. But let's talk about the DH. Now DH in both leagues, big game changer there. Shift goes away in 2023, but first the DH. I mean, how big is that?
That's huge. It's huge. It opens it up now, for the NL rosters to add in guys that they would never add. It's going to give some guys some big contracts. One guy jumps out. Schwarber just got paid big money by the Phillies today. That would have had to go to the AL to get it. Now, literally a whole nother half of teams, you have the ability to get paid. And I love it. I love the option of, just having your pitcher pitch, having another batter in there. I think it really helps the Pirates.
Well, and they're trying to get the game more exciting, and as much as the baseball purists love the bunting guys over and stuff like that, and seeing the guy run the bases with a coat on and stuff like that, it's definitely it's definitely
helmet.
It's definitely he has the old school batting helmet. Like Rick Russell. But the thing about it is that's nice is you're going to see more action. That's what they're trying to do. I really think that the shift. I mean,
Jesse Orosco.
Yeah, the shift is definitely screwed. Kind of been screwed. I'd rather see guys play traditional positions and let bring back some average hitters. And again, going to the DH thing, I think that in itself was definitely a veteran union move because now you're the Pujols and those guys, they're going to be able to hang on. So the guys, the power brokers are saying, hey, David Ortiz, guys, now we have a set of 16, like you said, 32 teams we can go play with. Right. I think that's really exciting. But, real quick, looking at some of the early season things that happened, we'll talk about the Yankees, definitely a big name team, probably the marquee franchise in all of baseball. Bring in a Donaldson, move a guy in Urshela, and then Gary Sanchez, who was the next coming to the Twins. And it was crazy. I read the article. It said, Sanchez could still win an MVP. So there still is that belief in him. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a big move. Sanchez had kind of reached his limits, I guess, there. It's question marks for me. I think it's a long-term thing, too. Urshela was due to get money after this season. Donaldson's a big name. He didn't really do it for me, though. It seems like he's definitely on the downslide. And this is a Yankee move, though, bringing a big name.
And a masher.
Yeah.
And a masher.
Yeah. But that's their problem. They don't need any more home run hitters. They need guys to get on base so when the home run hitters hit, then they get RBIs. And, they get more than one run. They got a whole bunch of home run hitters, and nobody gets on base.
Yeah, and I'm hearing Donaldson possibly leading off, LeMahieu probably on the bench. But let's think about it this way, though, from a depth standpoint. Everyone's saying, how could you put LeMahieu on the bench? Well, they haven't been healthy in 3 or 4 years.
Right.
They don't have that with this crew here. So you bring a guy like Donaldson, and he bats first. You're rotating guys to the leadoff. You bring Rizzo back, and he was the consolation prize, which is huge. Yeah, which is huge. He's a consolation, short porch. And it was interesting to hear Higagawa talk about he's been with Sanchez his whole career. And one thing he said, though, was how tough it was for him to play in New York. This fresh start, you might see Sanchez hit 30 homers this year.
Yeah.
He'll still bat 215, but he may hit 30 homers.
Yeah, I think that he goes there and lights it up. Maybe not early on because it's so cold, but he's used to it in New York. The big part of that trade that I'm going to say keep an eye on is Ben Rortvedt. He's the catcher that they got back.
Yeah.
He's straight jacked. He has New York written all over him. He's going to be on magazine covers. I think this kid's a winner.
And that's pretty cool. And I think that's very interesting. And then, going forward, what I wonder? Here's what I wonder. So the shift's going away in 23. Does it not become about launch angle then? Is there new value added to the guy batting 330 again?
Right.
Like you said, is there a value added because you can be the guy who slaps up the middle and then the big guys can knock you in? Do you think it adds value to those guys again?
It will. I think it's gonna resurrect some people's careers.
Yeah.
Like there's some guys that just were shifted on every time and they just could not hit the ball the other way.
Yeah, and it's going to resurrect averages. As a baseball guy, it doesn't look right to see a guy batting 178 with 35 homers.
No.
It just doesn't look right, and it's because they're saying, okay, let's do the launch
Gallo.
angle. Yeah, what else can Joey Gallo do? There's 7 guys in right field.
He's still in New York too, I think.
Yeah. I think he is. Yeah.
Jeez, they got some hammers there, man.
They're
Straight
loaded.
hammers.
But that, then again, we'll talk about the Olsen trade to the Braves, ends the Freddie Freeman area. And again, it's funny listening to some of the Braves fans and seeing some of the Twitter chat. They're kind of angry. They feel because of Chipper Jones took the club discount, and they said Freddie got money hungry. And there's a lot of bitterness there. I thought it would be some sadness with Olsen coming in and the guy leaving, but they're thinking he should have took the hometown discount.
Yeah, it was odd. It was over 1 year. He wanted 6, which would take him pretty high into his 30s. And they wouldn't budge over 5. And you would think, we just won a championship. You've been here this whole time. Stick around. Look at the young players we got. And I guess the writing was on the wall. So they trade for Matt Olson. They give up their top 2 prospects to get him. Pache is a baller.
But didn't have a place, and the guy that you said might need to change the scenery.
Yeah, he's going to Oakland, which is perfect because they're going to build him up for 3 or 4 years, and then they're going to turn him into the next Pache. And Shea Langoliers is ready to catch almost right away. But then they give Olsen the huge contract.
Yeah.
Problem is Olsen's 5 years younger than Freeman, so that's why they do that. I love him there. I love Matt Olson. I love what he does to our lineup. Acuna's not ready right away. That's one thing that I think Pache would have helped, the bridge. But I love the move. I wish Freeman would have came back. And I don't know where he goes now. There's a lot of teams in the mix. Keep an eye on Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go out with the public service announcement, and some people that know me are sick of hearing it, but I love what the Pirates are doing. Okay. I know the frustration. I understand everybody's upset, and they think it's more of the same. It's not. The Vogelback signing was huge. Bringing in a guy like that, even if he becomes some kind of mid-season trade bait, we'll build up with him. We have a better team. Again, we have a better management team than we've had as far as some of the deals. We're getting better quality. They've totally rebuilt the minor leagues. Tons of help's on the way. But again, I think the baseball fan who likes the Pirates probably doesn't dive as deep as we do into the prospects. Yeah. Maybe not have the same understanding. It seems like more of the same. I'd love for them to lock up Reynolds as a commitment to the city. Now with some of this new money and some of the lawsuits that are coming out about them not using that money, I think they're forced to spend some. I think we keep a guy like Reynolds unless he doesn't want to stay, because he's turned down several offers.
Yeah.
The fans are not informed as much as they could be. It's just that casual fan, not the rabid fan. They don't know that. And he's turned down several extension offers, so it's not just all on the Pirates. But I like that move there. I like bringing in some relievers. I like their young talent. I'm real excited. I see the progression.
Yeah.
Because we're not just dumping guys. I see the progression. We are trading guys, and we're building, and they've made better trades lately. Really excited for the Pirates this year.
Yeah. A move before the lockout, the Quintana pickup.
Yes.
Was it Quintana? He's a solid starter.
Yes.
They get him at a discount. I like the moves. Vogelback's the DH. Short porch. He's going to hit some balls in the river. Fans are going to get behind him. There's some guys close. A guy I really like, O'Neal Cruz, is right there. Cabrion's second year. I think Cabrion jumps up, and I love Cole Tucker. Just a lot of young names that are right there. But again, if Reynolds does not re-sign, can you use him midway through the season to retool a little bit more? It's going to be retool after retool, but they got to follow the Tampa mindset.
Yes.
But you got to spend a little bit.
Yes, and then bring in some guys. Get good guys back, major league ready guys, and not just prospects 5 years away.
Right.
Hopefully that happens. Again, if they trade Reynolds at the mid-season point, though, people will not understand that they'll be inconsolable on that. But let's hope for about a 500 a year this year. Let's creep a little closer to that and start building for the future. And hopefully some of these young pitchers develop, and we can maybe even trade some of these older pitchers, let them get themselves going again, and give them to a playoff team, and brings even some more, and just keep building up those arms.
Right.
But we're really excited about that. But hey, we are even more excited to be back.
Yes.
This is awesome. We're excited to look across at our engineer here a little bit and that hairdo. Let's just hope that the GoFundMe works out and we can get this haircut.
It's a great time in sports, man.
Yes.
I'm excited to be able to
great.
come on here and talk about it.
Yeah, and we miss being out here. Took a couple weeks off till there was some good relevancy. Now we'll be coming week after week. Really excited about that. Good to have the collector back.
Yeah.
Good to be back here with you, and we'll be back here every week. So we thank you. Come check us out, Main Street 814, Deez Sports Nutz, and on our YouTube channel. And there is much, much, much more content coming. Much more shows. We will get in a steady shooting schedule this spring, and you're going to see some on-air talent and some on-air hysterics, not on hair. We might even Main Street Mayhem might even bring Josh Miller out.
Wow. Watch
And the
out
interview
now.
segments are coming because Gigawatts is going to figure out a way to bring in these people from out of town that we
Nice.
can have on.
On
So we
Zoom.
have some guests coming.
Yeah.
And we have some powerhouses. So for Deez Sports Nutz, I'm the coach with the collector signing off. See you next time.